Hey, Tom here from the Run Testers with another running shoe review. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the TYR Maverick V1s. Let's have a look. The TYR Maverick V1 runner we believe costs £120 in the UK and it costs $150 in the US. It weighs 212 grams or 7.5 ounces for men in a size 8 and the drop is 8mm. The Maverick V1 is a daily running shoe designed for versatility, featuring a surprising stack height for its relatively light weight. The brand's main focus for the shoe is the FLIGHTTIME midsole, a supercritical foam that has been lab tested to produce an 8% increase in airtime, improved running economy, provide better energy return and produce a longer stride length. The shoe also features a breathable mesh upper built to be lightweight and ventilated for long efforts, as well as a healthy layer of TYRTAC rubber on the outsole for grip and protection. So the fit for me in this shoe, I'm a size 8 in the UK, I've got this in a size 8. It's not a very roomy shoe in the forefoot, there's definitely not a lot of space for my big toe and the end of the shoe. So I definitely size up half a size in this shoe to get a nice comfortable fit. The rest of the shoe is pretty good. There's a pretty wide, expansive forefoot section in this shoe. It's definitely got a bit more of a that sort of barefoot feel where there's more space in the forefoot, and the midfoot's pretty comfortable as well. It's definitely not a thin shoe, a narrow shoe, but I definitely would go up half size because of that missing space at the front. But the rest of it is very comfortable, and I'm not had any issues at all in testing this shoe. So TYR is a brand that if you're into triathlons or if you're into CrossFit, functional fitness, that sort of thing, you probably will have heard of them. The predominant type of shoe that they make seems to be the more functional shoes. There's a lot of gym shoes on there, a lot of functional fitness shoes. And running shoes, they have done a few before. I think they've done 3 different running shoes before. And one of those is a carbon plate running shoe. I haven't tried any of those shoes out. This is the first time I've tried a TYR shoe. So I didn't really know what to expect from it. When we test shoes out from brands that aren't well known for creating running shoes, I'm always a little bit skeptical. We have done some in the past where we've got them and they're not really that impressive. It's almost seems like the brand hasn't really developed the concept of a running shoe very much. It's just trying to move into the running world because obviously it's another market that they don't have already. But with TYR, this shoe, I really like it. I'm really impressed by this shoe from the testing that I've done in it. I've done about 60k in this shoe so far, and that has included easy runs. I did an interval session in it last night, and I think it's a really impressive shoe. The box that it came in, so I got a press box with this shoe, and they actually sent it with a weighing scales with it, digital ones, so that you could weigh the shoe out the box to see how light it was. And the lightness of this shoe seems to be something that TYR is pushing quite a bit. Now, mine came in at 212 grams for this, which isn't the lightest shoe in the world, but it is pretty light when you're talking about a daily training shoe. This is a shoe designed for ticking off the miles. It's a shoe designed for a bit of versatility. It's designed for a bit of speed work, but it's not a complex race shoe. It's not designed to be really, really light. It's still trying to tick off a lot of different types of runs. So 212 grams is pretty good for this shoe. So the runs that I've done in it, for easy runs, what I would say is this foam, I think it's a mixture of different foam compounds, and the result is it's a relatively soft foam. It's not a squishy soft by any stretch of the imagination, but it does compress and give you energy back quite nicely. It's quite a dense midsole foam, and what I'd say about that is a nice, comfortable, easy pace. It works very well, but it does feel like a shoe that's probably more suited to faster paces, tempo runs, that sort of thing, as opposed to an easy run. Definitely doesn't feel to me like a shoe that is really well made for easy runs. Whereas something like the Saucony Endorphin Speed 5 is probably a little bit better suited to the easier side of things, just in the way that the transition works. This definitely feels like it wants to go a little bit faster. When I first ran it out, I thought it was more of a speed training shoe than an easy run shoe. Partly because of the lightness of it. It does feel incredibly light on the feet. So as soon as you go out for running it, you feel like you're in a shoe that is designed for running faster and not necessarily for running easier. But it's not bad at it. You can still run comfortably easy in this shoe, and it is absolutely fine with it. It just feels like a shoe that's meant to go faster. When picking up the pace, that's where it really comes into its own. The midsole in this does, as I said, it compresses quite nicely and it gives you a nice bit of energy back. It's quite a bouncy feeling shoe, and it doesn't feel like it's a really soft bounce. So it definitely feels like you're getting a nice bit of rebound, nice bit of responsiveness off the back of the run, and really comes into its own when you pick up the pace to well, for me, when I was running at about 4 minute 20 kilometers, it felt really, really nice and comfortable. Something like the Adidas Evo SL, like the Asics Superblast 2, that sort of feel where it has a really nice smooth ride to it and feels like it's got a nice bit of efficiency. In fact, there's a lot on the website about this foam, which they call FLIGHTTIME, and the way they've developed it, because the idea is that it improves flight time, or the airborne time, and because of that, improves efficiency on the run. Now, I'm not going to go into depth about the details of that research. You can go onto the website and have a look if you want. I'm just going to review the shoe purely from how it feels, not from marketing research, but it does feel like a shoe that feels very, very comfortable at a consistent, nice tempo pace. And equally, picking up the pace for a faster rep feels pretty good as well. It's an all-round pretty versatile shoe, and very enjoyable to wear. The things that I would say about it, from the perspective of running over those different paces, it's not necessarily an unstable shoe, because that midsole is a little bit denser. It doesn't feel like a wobbly shoe that doesn't have any support in it. It's a bit of a denser midsole foam, so you do get a little bit of stability from the midsole, because it's not really squishing and wobbling around. But the design of the shoe and how it rolls does feel a little bit less stable. It does feel like the ground contact isn't as much as I'd want from a more stable shoe. So it's worth taking that into consideration. It is quite a high shoe as well. So not the most stable shoe out there, especially if you need some stability needs. I think you'd probably notice it more than me, but I did feel like it wasn't a really supported stable shoe, but it feels really, really good when you're picking up the pace. It does have a fairly wide front section on it as well, so landings are quite nice, and it's got a really nice smooth transition to it, which is why it's good for that tempo stuff. So yeah, very impressed by the shoe. Definitely for the weight, definitely for the price of it. I think it's a really interesting option, and it's going up against shoes like the Evo SL in that price bracket and what it's trying to do. But it is a bit different than those shoes as well, just because I think that foam does feel a little bit different from things like the Evo SL and the New Balance Rebel V5. The outsole, pretty impressed with that as well. So the outsole has got this really thick layer of rubber on it to protect that midsole foam. Definitely quite grippy. And I haven't had any issues out running on the wet ground. I have been running it's been raining a lot recently, so I've been running on the wet ground quite a lot, but also down some public footpaths, as you can see from a bit of dirt on there. And it's been absolutely fine. I'm quite impressed with the outsole on this shoe, so pretty good from that respect as well. Okay, so my verdict on the TYR Maverick 1, I think it's a really good shoe for running, which is, I wasn't expecting that because I didn't know a lot about the brand before. I think it's definitely a good value shoe. I think it's a shoe that does what it says it does. It's a nice versatile shoe. It does feel like you get a nice bit of energy return from it. It does feel like you can pick up the pace nicely in this shoe, and it's quite comfortable to wear as well. So I think it's a shoe that delivers a lot, and that's not often the case with brands that aren't particularly, or have a legacy of creating running shoes. They tend to claim a lot of things but don't really deliver on those things, whereas I think that they have actually put a lot of effort into the development of this shoe, and I think it does feel really, really good. I actually like taking this shoe out. I probably will use this more for if I'm training, doing faster sessions, if I'm going out to do a tempo effort or anything like that. This is a shoe that I might actually pick up to do those things, and that's going up against shoes like the Adidas Evo SL, which is an absolutely fantastic shoe, shoes like the New Balance Rebel V5, and shoes like the Mega Blast. So if I was to compare it with those, I would say that this, in comparison to the Evo SL, I think the Evo SL is a bit softer, it's a bit wobblier, it's a little bit more energy return in it, and I prefer to run in that shoe because it just feels a little bit faster, and I like softer shoes. But this isn't far off for what it's delivering. It's just a little bit firmer, there's a little bit more density to that midsole, which some people may like. A lot of people don't like the Evo SL because it is a little bit too soft. Same goes to the New Balance Rebel V5, similar softness to that midsole, and it compresses quite a lot, whereas this doesn't. So if you want to avoid that sort of squishy feeling when you're running, this is a good option around that same price point. Mega Blast, I would go for the Mega Blast all the way. I think actually the Mega Blast is beats all of those shoes, and as you'd expect because of the price. But it has similarities with this because the Mega Blast is not a really soft shoe when you're running in it. It does have a nice balanced midsole in it. but is very, very versatile as well. So I definitely say that's a far superior shoe. But this is in the realm of those shoes now. It's competing with them, and that's not something I often see with a new challenger brand going into the running space. And what's interesting about the shoe is that I haven't really seen a lot of promotion or people wearing this shoe or advertising for this shoe. And I think if more people did know about it, I think they would be impressed by this shoe. And if it was easier to get in the UK as well. So very impressed by this shoe. I think it's a solid, versatile shoe. I think it skews more towards the faster efforts, but I think you can do other stuff in it as well. And I think it has a nice smooth transition in it for those sort of faster efforts, tempo efforts. So really impressed. I look forward to doing some more running in this shoe. That's it from me on this review of the TYR Maverick V1. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the little bell. If you're going to catch me below, you can find it to a podcast, which comes out a couple of times each month. Thanks a lot for watching. Catch you next time.